Hello my dear students. Today in this video I will discuss one of the common type of multiple pregnancy which is known as twins in detail, such as its definition, types, incidence, etiology, diagnosis, complications and its management. So first of all, a little bit introduction about the multiple pregnancy. When more than one fetus simultaneously, means at the same time, develops in the uterus, it is called as multiple pregnancy. Next are the types of multiple pregnancy. First one, when the two fetuses develops inside the uterus at the same time, that is known as twins. When the three fetuses develops inside the uterus at the same time, that is known as triplets. When the four fetuses develops inside the uterus at the same time, that is known as quadruplets. When the five fetuses develops inside the uterus at the same time, that is known as quintuplets. And at last, when the six fetuses develops inside the uterus at the same time, that is known as sextuplets. The twin pregnancy is the most common type of multiple pregnancy which I am going to discuss in detail. So first of all, its definition. Simultaneous development of two fetuses in the uterus, that is known as twins. Next are the types of twins. On the basis of zygosity, zygosity means the degree of genetic similarity or the genetic makeup of both the fetuses. So on the basis of zygosity, the twins are of two types. First one is dizygotic twins. Second one is monozygotic twins. And monozygotic twins are genetically more similar as compared to the dizygotic twins. Under monozygotic twins, on the basis of chorionicity, there are four types. Chorionicity means the status of membranes during pregnancy, that is amnion and chorion. First one is diamniotic and dichorionic twins. Diamniotic means two amnion, dichorionic means two chorion, which is denoted as D into D, and the chances of diamniotic and dichorionic twins under monozygotic twins is 30%. Next is diamniotic means two amnion and monochorionic means one chorion, which is denoted as D into M, and the chances of this type of twins is much more, that is 66%. Third one is monoamniotic means one amnion and monochorionic means one chorion, which is denoted as M into M, and the chances of this type of monozygotic twins is 3%. And at last, conjoined twins, when the two fetuses are physically connected or physically fused with each other, and the chances of this type of monozygotic twins is less than 1%. So the most common type of monozygotic twins is diamniotic and monochorionic. Next, I will discuss the types in detail one by one. First one is dizygotic twins. Dizygotic means two zygote. The fertilized ovum is known as zygote. Means in this type there are two fertilized ovums. Dizygotic twins are also known as fraternal twins or binovular, means two ovums are fertilized. Normally what happens, during each month only one ovum is released by the ovaries, but in this type the two eggs or two ovums are released from the ovaries, which then fertilized by the separate sperms, and after fertilization these both fertilized ovums or embryo is implanted inside the uterus separately, and then they start developing inside the uterus separately. As you can see in this diagram, they are having, both the babies have their separate placentas and separate membranes, means two amnion and two chorion. In dizygotic twins, the gender of twins may be same or may be different. Next is Monozygotic twins. Monozygotic twins are also known as identical twins or uniovular, means only one ovum is fertilized. In this type, as you can see, a single ovum is released by the ovary, which is fertilized by a sperm. After fertilization, it splits into two or divided into two, and they normally share a same placenta. As we already discussed in the types, that the diamniotic and monochorionic type of monozygotic twins are much more common, which contribute, or the chances of this type is 66%. So in that case, mostly in the monozygotic twins, there are two amnion and only one chorion. If there is a one chorion, means single placenta, because chorion have a major role in the formation of placenta. Next are the twinning may occur at the different periods after fertilization, and this influences the process of implantation of fertilized ovum inside the uterus or the formation of fetal membranes. Means this splitting, the fertilized ovum is split into two at different time periods, which actually affects the implantation and the fetal membranes. As you can see here, in the first type, if the division or this splitting of fertilized ovum takes place within 1 to 3 days after the fertilization or within 72 hours, then what happen? There will be formation of two chorions, two placenta and two amnion. That is known as dichorionic or diamniotic type of monozygotic twins. In the next type, if this splitting or the division takes place from 4th to 8th day after fertilization, as at this period the chorion is already formed. Chorion is already formed, which means there is only one chorion. But there will be two amnion and one placenta. If the chorion is one, means if there is only one placenta, because chorion layer is chorionic membrane plays an important role in the formation of placenta, as the chorionic villi is invaded inside the decidua to form the placenta. So this type is known as monochorionic and diamniotic type of monozygotic twins. As you can see, this is a one single placenta. Amniotic sacs are two. Amniotic sac containing the amniotic fluid, which is protected by amniotic membrane, but there is only one chorion. Next is the third type is if this splitting takes place from 8th to 13th day after fertilization. At this stage, the amniotic sac is already formed. The chorion is formed within 4 to 8 days, and from 8 to 13 days with the chorion, amnion is also formed. The amniotic cavity is also formed, which means there will be only one amnion, one chorion and one placenta. As you can see in this diagram, this is a one single placenta with the single amniotic cavity and the single chorion. The two fetuses develop inside the single amniotic sac, that is known as monochorionic and monoamniotic type of monozygotic twins. And at last, the fourth type is conjoined twins, when the two fetuses are physically connected or physically fused with one another. If this splitting of fertilized ovum or the division of fertilized ovum takes place from 13th to 15th day after fertilization, that will lead to the conjoined twins, which is also known as Siamese twins. So the common fusions or the common connection between the two fetuses are of four types. Thoracophagous, when the fetuses are physically fused with each other from the thorax part, means at the part of chest. Craniophagus. This is the diagram of craniophagus when the head of two babies are fused. Next is pyophagus. Pyophagus when the buttocks are fused at the buttocks or at the back, means the pelvic region of both the babies is fused. Next is ichthyophagus. In this, spines are fused with one another. That's all about the types of twins. Next is incidence. In India, the incident rate is about 1 in 80 births. The actual incidence of multiple pregnancy nowadays has been increased because nowadays the infertility rate is increased. So to enhance the fertility, women mainly use the drugs which induce the ovulation, and plus the assisted reproductive techniques are mostly used nowadays, like IVF, in vitro fertilization. That increases the incidence rate of multiple pregnancy because these two are considered to be the cause of multiple pregnancy. Next is etiology. Monozygotic twins and dizygotic twins. So the incidence rate of monozygotic twins is remain constant throughout the world, but in the case of dizygotic twins, the incidence rate vary among different populations. The cause behind the monozygotic twins is probably related to maternal environmental factors like the diet which woman takes, certain medications consumption, or the exposure to the certain toxins. Next is dizygotic twins. The prevalence rate of dizygotic twins is related to race, that is the prevalence or the chances of having dizygotic twins is more among Negroes, while less among, the prevalence rate is very less among Mongols, that is the people of Mongolia, a country which lie between the China and the Russia. Next is hereditary. So this is transmitted mainly from the maternal side, from the female side. Next is advancing age of mother. If the mother conceives within the age of 30 to 35 years, there are more chances of having the dizygotic twins. Next is parity. If the woman is pregnant more than 5 times, that might increase the chances of having dizygotic twins. Next is iatrogenic. Iatrogenic, when the woman consume the drugs which increases or which enhance the ovulation, that is the drug which used for the induction of ovulation, for example Clomid, that is clomiphene, which is considered to be the cause of having dizygotic twins. The next cause is superfecundation, when it is a fertilization when the 2 ovums are released at the same time. Normally each month only 1 ovum is released, but here in this case it is a fertilization when the 2 ovums are released at the same time and both are fertilized by the separate act of coitus within a short period of time. So these are fertilized with the separate act of coitus within a short period of time. That is known as superfecundation. So this might be considered as a cause of having dizygotic twins. Next is superfetation. This is a type of fertilization in which during first cycle, means during 1 month, only 1 ovum is released, which is fertilized, and during next month or during next cycle the second ovum is released, which is again fertilized. So as this first ovum which is fertilized is already implanted inside the uterus, and this second ovum which is released during the second cycle or during second month is again fertilized and implanted or developed over one another. So this might be possible theoretically. So this might be the cause of dizygotic twins. So that's all about the causes. Next is the lie and the presentation. First one is when the both babies are having longitudinal lie with the vertex presentation. So this is a most common lie and the presentation among twins. Second one is when first baby is having vertex presentation and the second baby is having breech presentation, while both babies have longitudinal lie. So among 30% of cases. In the third type, the lie is longitudinal. The lie of both babies is longitudinal, but the presentation of first baby is breech and the second baby is having vertex presentation. So this is the chances of this lie and presentation is 10%. Fourth one is both the babies is having longitudinal lie, but the presenting part or the presentation is breech among 10% of cases. Fifth one is when the first baby is having longitudinal lie while the second baby is having transverse lie, with the presentation of first baby is vertex while the second baby is lie transversely, and so on. The most common lie and the presentation among twins is both having longitudinal lie with the vertex presentation. Next are the diagnosis of twins. First one is taking history from the mother, that whether she is taking the ovulation inducing drugs or not, because this is considered as one of the cause of having twins. Use of art, that is artificial reproductive technique. And third one is family history of twinning, because it is hereditary passed from the maternal side. So these are considered to be the causes of having twins pregnancy. So first of all, taking history. Then is symptoms. So note the symptoms. What are the main symptoms of twins pregnancy? As we know that during singleton pregnancy, means the pregnancy with the single baby, that is known as singleton pregnancy, when there is only one fetus grow inside the uterus. In that case, there are minor ailments. But in the case of twins, these minor ailments are exaggerated, or the intensity of these minor ailments are increased. Like nausea and vomiting. In this, the severity of nausea vomiting is increased than the singleton pregnancy. Next is some of the symptoms due to enlargement of the uterus. As the two fetuses is growing inside the uterus, so the size of the uterus is enlarged. So what are the symptoms? First one is tendency of swelling of legs, means the legs are much more swelled than in the case of singleton pregnancy. And the varicose vein is greater because of the compression of the inferior vena cava because of the growing uterus. Next is increased nausea and vomiting. The intensity is much more than the singleton pregnancy. And the third one is excessive fetal movements. As the two fetuses is present inside the uterus, so both the fetuses are doing the kicking movements. So the excessive fetal movements are felt, and these are felt by the experienced Paris woman who is actually pregnant for more than 2 or 3 times. She is experienced, so she felt excessive fetal movements than the singleton pregnancy, than the normal pregnancy. Third one is abdominal examination. First one is inspection. So while doing inspection, what is find out that the uterus is become more barrel shaped. Normally it is elongated shape in the case of singleton pregnancy, but in the case of twins pregnancy, the uterus become barrel shaped. Like how? The centers are much more bulged out, like this. The elongated shape is like this. This. but in the case of barrel shaped, it is bulged out from the center. Next is palpation. So when we are doing the palpation with the palms, what we find out? First one is more fetal parts are felt, more fetal parts than the singleton pregnancy, plus 2 heads are felt during palpation. Next is auscultation. So when we are doing the auscultation, what we find out? That 2 fetal heart rates are heard at the different spots, at the separate spots. For example, first spot is this and second spot is this. So fetal heart sound is heard from the 2 different spots, and a silence between these 2 spots indicates the twins' pregnancy. Next is investigations. So the investigations which are mainly done to diagnose the twin pregnancies, ultrasonography should be done. Second one is biochemical test, that is maternal serum chorionic gonadotropin or the alpha fetoprotein. So what we find out from these tests, that their values are double than the singleton pregnancy. Singleton means the normal pregnancy with the 1 fetus. So that's all about the diagnosis of twins pregnancy. Next are the complications of twin pregnancy, that is maternal and fetal. So first I will discuss the fetal complications. In the case of monochorionic twin, when there is only one chorion, that is twin transfusion syndrome and the twin reversed arterial perfusion. This is a diagram of twin transfusion. As you can see in this, there is only one placenta. This is a monozygotic twins with the 2 amniotic sac, that is diamniotic and monochorionic twins. So in this you can see the blood vessels are running from the one fetus to the another on the surface of placenta. So there is a connection between the 2 fetuses through the blood vessels. By some reason, there is a increased blood supply to one fetus, while there is a lesser blood supply to the another fetus. And the fetus having more blood supply is known as recipient twin. And the fetus having less blood supply, that is known as donor twin. So in that case, in this there is a more amniotic fluid because of the more absorption of nutrients and oxygen. The urine output is also increased in this twin, in the recipient twin. If there is a increased urine output of this twin, that will lead to increased amniotic fluid, which is known as polyhydramnios. In this case, there is less absorption of nutrients, that will lead to decreased urine output. That's why it is known as oligohydramnios. Next is vanishing twin. If because of decreased blood supply to the one fetus, if this twin is die during the first trimester of pregnancy, then the reabsorption occurs and the dead fetus is completely disappears. That is known as vanishing twin. This is also one of the complication. Next is fetal preparations. If one fetus is died during the second trimester of the pregnancy, then what happen? This dead fetus is compressed and flattened, compressed between the membranes of the live fetus and the wall of the uterus. That is known as fetal preparations. This is again one of the complication. Next is discordant growth. Discordant growth means difference between the growth rate of two fetuses because of the decreased blood supply to the one fetus, and there is a huge difference between the weight and the growth rate of both the fetuses. Next is twin reversed arterial perfusion, TRAP. P, that is TRAP. This disease is known as TRAP. In this you can see this is also a monozygotic twin with monochorionic and diamniotic. There is a 2 amniotic cavities. In this you can see this is a pump twin and this is a acardic and acephalic twin. Acardic means absence of heart. Acephalic means absence of head. Acardic and acephalic twin. While in this case, the cardiac system of one twin supplies the blood to both the twins, because of which there is an increased pumping, excessive pumping. So because of excessive pumping, there is a chances of cardiac failure. This twin is known as pump twin, and this twin is known as acardic twin or acardic and acephalic twin. This fetus is become amorphous, means this fetus is not having any structure. That is known as twin reversed arterial perfusion. So starting from the first one, abortion. In the case of twin pregnancy, mostly in the case of monozygotic twins, there are the chances of miscarriage. Vanishing twin and fetal preparations we already discussed. Next is preterm births. So in the case of twin pregnancy, because of the over distension of the uterus, there is the chances of early uterine contraction or early start of labor, that is known as preterm labor. So when there is a preterm labor, there are the chances of preterm birth. Next is fetal anomalies. There are the chances of congenital malformation, mainly in the case of monozygotic twins like microcephaly, Down syndrome. Next is discordant growth, we already discussed. Dead fetus syndrome. In this case, if one fetus dies, as we know that the fetuses are connected through the blood vessels, the dead fetus passes the thromboplastin. What is thromboplastin? Into the another fetus, which cause DIC in the another fetus. DIC is disseminated intravascular coagulopathy, means the formation of blood clots in the small blood vessels throughout the body. That is known as dead fetal syndrome. Next is monoamniosity, means when there is a one amniotic cavity, the chances of fetal death is increased. Next is conjoined twins. When the two fetus are physically connected with each other, then also the perinatal mortality, the chances of perinatal mortality is high. So next we will move towards the maternal complication. During pregnancy, the first one is nausea and vomiting. So the frequency of nausea and vomiting is increased as compared to the singleton pregnancy. Next is APH, that is antepartum hemorrhage. So in the case of twin pregnancy, there are the chances of implantation of placenta at the lower uterine segment, or there are the chances of premature separation of placenta, which leads to bleeding or hemorrhage. Next is anemia. So as there are two fetuses grow inside the uterus, so there is an increased requirements of iron and folic acid. Because of this huge requirements, there will be the deficiency of iron and folic acid, which leads to anemia. Next is PIH, that is pregnancy induced hypertension and preeclampsia. So the incidence or the chances of having preeclampsia and pregnancy induced hypertension is 3 times more in the case of twin pregnancy as compared to the singleton. Next is polyhydramnios and oligohydramnios. I already discussed that how this complication arises. Next is malpresentation. So as we already discussed that in the 50% cases, there are the chances that both the twins are having vertex presentation, and the another 50% there will be a malpresentations. Next is preterm labor, I already discussed. Next is mechanical distress. So when there is a growing uterus, because of the two babies, it exerts pressure on the heart and the lungs. So because of the pressure, it leads to dyspnea, that is difficulty in breathing, plus palpitations, that is increased increased maternal heart rate. Next is during labor, intrapartum hemorrhage. When the first baby is born, then the space inside the uterine cavity is decreased. Because of this decreased space, in the case of dizygotic twins, the placenta of second twin starts separating, which leads to bleeding. That is known as intrapartum hemorrhage. Next is early rupture of membranes. How early rupture of membranes occur? Because of malpresentations or because of two babies inside the fetus, it delays the engagement. So if the engagement is delayed but the membranes is ruptured, that is known as early rupture of membranes. As engagement is delayed in this case. Next is prolonged labor. There are the chances of prolonged labor. Next is increased operative interference. Because of the malpresentations, there are increased chances of cesarean sections. Next is during puerperium. Subinvolution, as the uterus is over-distended in the case of twin pregnancy, so the involution of uterus take huge time to revert back to its normal position. Next is infection. Because of the increased operative interference, there are the chances of infection. So these are the complications of twin pregnancy. Next is the management of twin pregnancy. So firstly, epidural analgesia or the epidural anesthesia should be given so that mother does not feel pain. Next is careful fetal monitoring should be done. Both the fetuses should be carefully monitored, that is the fetal heart rate. Next is to run an infusion drip. Conduct the delivery of the first baby as usual, because there are less complications during the delivery of first baby. So delivery of first baby vaginally should be done. So after the delivery of first baby, cord is divided in between two clamps. Next is no methergine is given. Normally methergine is given to enhance or to increase the uterine contractions, but after the delivery of first baby, no methergine is given because it might cause the fetal distress in the second twin who is still inside the uterine cavity. Next is note the lie of the second baby clinically or by ultrasonography, that whether the lie is transverse or longitudinal. So if the lie is longitudinal, the time period between the delivery of the first and the second fetus is less than 30 minutes. If the lie is longitudinal, then artificial rupture of membranes should be done and oxytocin should be administered to enhance or to increase the uterine contractions. But if it takes more than 30 minutes to deliver the second baby after the delivery of first baby, then the interference should be done. Like if there is a breech presentation, then breech extraction should be done. But if it is a vertex presentation, if the head is low down, then the forceps is used for the delivery. But if the head is still high up because of the hydrocephalus head, or there is a cephalopelvic disproportion, in that case ventouse delivery should be done. Next is in the case of transverse lie, try to do the external cephalic version, that try to change the transverse lie into longitudinal lie with the either cephalic presentation or podelic presentation, means vertex or breech. But if it fails, if the external cephalic version fails, then what to do? Try to do internal cephalic version. So as the uterus is over distended, so the chances of retraction is very less. So in that case, the size of the fetus is small, so it is easy to do the internal cephalic version. And then if there is after internal cephalic version, again if there is a breech presentation, then breech extraction should be done. If there is a vertex, then same procedure here. Next is indication for cesarean section. If the second twin is larger with the non-cephalic presentation, means the presentation either be podelic or breech, in that case immediate cesarean section should be done. Next is fetal distress of second baby. So after the delivery of the first baby, if the fetal heart rate is decreasing in the second baby, in that case immediate cesarean section should be done. Next is closure of cervix after the delivery of the first baby. So in some cases, when the first baby is delivered, the cervix is closed or the muscles are retracted. In that case, immediate cesarean section should be done. So that's all about the management of twin pregnancy. My dear students, if you have any kind of query, then please ask me in the comment section. I will definitely answer your queries. And guys, if you are new at my channel, then please subscribe my channel. At last, stay safe, take care of yourself.